as we welcome you live to the Cougar Den, Tom McKinney Court here at Bloomington High School North, Bloomington, Indiana. It's JV boys basketball tonight as the Terre Haute South Braves are in town to face the Bloomington North Cougars. Glad you could join us for North Cougar basketball on Smithville Sports alongside Quinn Saturday. I am Nick Jenkinson. Quinn, the JV team rolling 13-1, 12 game winning streak, and fresh off a 48-46 win last night at Evansville North.
Yeah, this JV team has been so impressive. We've had them a couple times, and each time they've blown us away. I think the most impressive one was absolutely their performance against South. They got punched in the mouth by South in that first quarter, and then just dominated the rest of the game. And that's what's cool about this team is it's not like one of those teams that will just jump out in front and then think if a team's gonna give them a competition, they're gonna respond. Because sometimes there are those good teams that if they don't get out to a good lead, then they kind of wilter.
This is a team that has and definitely averages and gets in the 50s and 60s. They scored 49 against Bedford North Lawrence. Their only loss, Center Grove, December 7th, 54-47. But 66 against Parameridian, 64 against Southport, 56 against Northview, 53 against University and New Palestine, 57 against Evansville Rights, as we mentioned, 55 against Bloomington South, 58 against Seymour, 51 against Martinsville, 45 against Silver Creek, and then 48 last night against Evansville North. You see the North Cougars coached by Jabril Conte, mentioned 1998 Indiana All-Star. One interesting note that the coach for Terre Haute South, who you see in the background, Maynard Lewis, former Purdue standout from 1998 to 2002, Terre Haute South grad himself in 1998, and an Indiana All-Star on the same team with Jabril Conte and Queth Dewaney, who also played here at Bloomington North. So we're going to look at the starting lineups for both teams, and we're going to look at Terre Haute South first. They're going to go with Ryland Schneider, 6'1" sophomore. Number 14, Andres Miller, 6'1" sophomore. 22 is Tyler Vaughn, 5'10" sophomore. 24 is Parker Mahurin, 5'11" sophomore. And if that name sounds familiar, he is most likely relation to former Edgewood coach Dave Mahurin. And Cortez Haynes is number 30, 6'3" junior. Lucas Stewart, the coach, was talking to him earlier. He played at Terre Haute South. So, Quinn, it's interesting. You've got both the varsity and JV coaches coaching this Terre Haute South team that graduated and knows what it takes to be a Brave.
Yeah, that's one of the most special things about Indiana basketball, and what really it sets it up from other high school basketball in other states is that just the pride that players take in the school that they represented at the high school level. They're able to give back to the community, and we are seeing it here where some of the greats that the basketball program has given are given back to a new generation of players.
As we look at the Bloomington North starting lineup, Zach Rager, 6'5", junior. Josh Hanna, 6'3", sophomore, wearing number 40. Nate Hoffman, 5'10", sophomore. Bryce Petty, 5'11", freshman, number 5. And Tyree Rochelle, number 21, 6'1", sophomore. Terre Haute South in the red and Bloomington North in the white. Petty going to fire the three, and he nails it. Start the game off. Bryce Petty, Cougars on the board. Is Bloomington North going to start trapping and pressing against this Terre Haute South team? That's a foul on Bloomington North as Tyler Vaughn's going to go to the line. be on Petty, his first. Tyler Vaughn at the line, 5'10 sophomore. Talking to Coach Stewart before the game, he said his team is very inexperienced, and it's been a up and down season so far for his ball club. And Vaughn hits both. And it's 3-2 Bloomington North. Hoffman. Tyree Rochelle drives off the mark. Rager can't follow. And here comes Terre Haute South.
That's the thing you got to do. You got to beat them. When you're facing Bloomington North, you have to beat the press. Even if you're not going to go on a fast break, you want to get the ball up court fast so that you can at least get into your half-court offense.
And Bloomington North comes right back with a beautiful pass from Rochelle to Bryce Petty, who has all 5 Cougar points.
Petty are really feeling it here to start off. He always seems to come up with a hot start for Bloomington North.
Another thing, if you're Terre Haute South, you can't do turn the ball over, and they do.
Well, turnovers will eventually happen, but you have to limit them as much as possible. Do as many no unforced turnovers.
Tyree Rochelle gonna fire from the corner off the mark. Last touch by the Cougars, and it will be Terre Haute South ball. Nice pass from Vaughn to Mahurin under the basket, and then Hannah blocks him. And then Schneider cannot get it.
Heads up play by Hannah to be able to block that. That looked like just at first that looked like an absolute, lapse in defense, and then Hannah just flies in to swat that away.
Hannah getting the start tonight. Ryan Bramwell who usually starts, not starting, not even on the bench. And Zach Rager scores. Rylan Schneider, first foul, team's first. Rager, the junior, 6'5", has been one of the leaders on this JV squad.
Been an excellent post player as we get a foul right away.
Provides veteran leadership. We're going to get Bryce Petty for the foul, and that's 2 on Petty, as DeJuan Daniels is going to check in for Bloomington North, replacing Petty. And then Cortez, check that, Amari Richardson, 23, is in the game for Terre Haute South. So this is Rylan Schneider against Rager. 3 on the way for Cortez Haynes. 8-5, Bloomington North leads. 7-minute quarters here in JV. Rager, Hoffman. Gets it to Rochelle.
Oh, nice steal.
That is taken away by Haynes. Vaughn gets it to Richardson. 3 on the way for Terre Haute South. No good by Andres Miller. And here comes North in transition. Good pass, Rochelle to Hoffman, no good. And the rebound to Haynes. Dangerous pass.
But excellent awareness to note that he hadn't passed the line yet, and that it was okay to still pass it back.
Terre Haute South working it around. There's a runner for Richardson, and he gets it to go, and it's a 1-point Cougar lead.
That is basically him correcting for the last possession, where he had a run, and then he tried to get fancy by passing it back when he had an easy basket. That time he was able just to take it to the hole.
Josh Hanna gets the bucket on the nice assist from Tyree Rochelle. Just under 3 to go here in the first quarter. Nice drive for Tyler Vaughn. He has 4. And Coach Conte going to call a 30-second timeout. Going to see Miles Frank check in for Bloomington North. Here you see Coach Stewart, Coach Maynard Lewis in the background. Maynard Lewis, a start, Terre Haute South, 1,632 points, a 1998 Indiana All-Star. His senior season, 25.3 points a game, 6.7 rebounds a game. They won the sectional championship his junior year in 1997, 64 and 25, his record as a player. Jabril Conte, 1998 Indiana All-Star. He and Maynard Lewis were teammates, and I asked Coach Lewis about the playing on the All-Stars with Jabril, and they said we all knew each other. He said, no, we hated facing Jabril in practice. He had such a big body and was banging around all the time. But he was happy to see that they got to see each other before the game, and they were happy to see each other and have been friends since. Rager gets the basket inside, his 5th of the night.
And I'm really loving this adjustment by Coach Stewart. Definitely seeing a much more aggressive approach here from the Braves after kind of a little bit of, a kind of take it easy, kind of lukewarm approach to start it. And then the Cougars immediately made them pay with their full court press. So an excellent immediate response from the Braves.
Tyler Vaughn back at the line, 2 of 3 tonight, make it 3 for 4 as he's got 5 points, and it's a 2-point Cougar lead. Terre Haute South going zone. Daniels with it. Gets it to Hoffman. Nice cut to the basket for Rager, and he kicks it back out to Rochelle. Throws a dangerous pass in traffic intended for Daniels, and it will stay with Bloomington North. Miles Frank has it. Rager, nice shot inside. He's got 7.
Shows how dangerous a hook shot can be. It's almost unblockable, and be able to kind of back your man down, and then with full motion being able to get your shot up. No worry of really being contested, because if you do, most likely you're going to hit the arm and get the foul.
Definitely has gotten off to a good start as Amari Richardson gets his 4th point on the nice take to the basket, and Terre Haute South steals. For the lead, Tyler Vaughn drains the 3.
Has been an excellent response. Braves now lead, and here goes another steal.
Bodies flying everywhere. Daniels has to go way in the backcourt to chase it. And Miles Frank brings it up to Rochelle. Rochelle tries to dunk, misses it.
Tried to kind of set the tempo with a emphatic dunk, but was unable to get it. Unfortunately, that's the kind of downside. We see it often in the college game. A missed dunk, if it doesn't go out of bounds, can sometimes become, a turnover in a way, because it leads to an opposing's fast break, because when you go up for the dunk, you are basically out of commission, out of the play for the next couple of seconds. Because you have to land, and you're usually out of bounds.
Yeah, the dunk is one of those things where it can really motivate you, but if you miss it, it can set you back. Rager, jumper no good, rebound to Miller. Here comes Terre Haute South. 1 point lead, 20 seconds to go here in quarter number 1. Vaughn. Gonna hold for 1. Rager just takes it away. They got to get it off. Frank's going to throw up the runner. It's no good. And we'll go to the second quarter with Terre Haute South leading Bloomington North 15-14 on Smithville Sports.
You want reliable internet from a company you can trust to be there for you 24/7. Look no further than Smithville. With our local customer service and technical support, you'll be speaking with someone who lives and works in your community. And with Smithville's fibre optic internet, your connection will be fast, reliable and secure. Call us today at 800 742 4084 to experience the Smithville difference yourself. Smithville, the only internet you'll ever need.
We welcome you back to the Cougar Den. You see Lucas Stewart, the Terre Haute South coach, instructing his JV squad as his Braves are up on the Cougars 15-14 as we get ready for the second quarter of play. Glad you could join us for North Cougar basketball on Smithville Sports alongside Quinn Saturday. I am Nick Jenkinson, and so far, Quinn, it's been Zach Rager for Bloomington North with 7 and Tyler Vaughn for Terre Haute South with 8 leading the way.
It's been a absolutely concentrated effort from Terre Haute South. Immediately a huge openings start from North. And you think, oh, here we go again. North about to blow another team out the door. But then Terre Haute South responds in a big way and actually able to take the lead before the end of the quarter. And they currently have momentum right now. If I am Bloomington North, I want to make sure that I clamp down on defense and take care of the ball. It's kind of funny. We were almost talking about that was the key for Terre Haute South here, and now it's become the key now for North.
There is a 3 for Vaughn, and he drains his second one of the night.
And now he's in double digits, continuing to get better. And here's Petty, who, let's not forget, that run started when he had to go to the bench with 2 fouls.
Picked up 2 fouls early in that first quarter. He's back in now, and that's Tyree Rochelle's second foul and the team's 4th. And both teams don't have a lot of depth. Terre Haute South only 7 players at their disposal. Bloomington North with just 8. So foul trouble is always a key in JV. And again, you've got some guys play varsity, so again, it's 5 quarters total between JV and varsity. Vaughn for another 3, this time no good. And here comes Bloomington North. Tyree Rochelle, bullet pass to Petty. Frank recovers, and then into the hands of Miller, and he throws it down for Richardson, who has to chase it, and now is going to reset the offense.
I give a lot of credit to Rochelle for trying to create a spark right now, but he's kind of forcing things here in the last couple of things with the missed dunk and then with that bullet pass right there.
They're going to call
needs to let the game come to him a little bit more instead of trying to force his will on the game.
We talk about kids that always have that high motor, and Tyree Rochelle is another kid that's got that high motor and plays the game at just 1,000,000 miles an hour. And they are going to call Terre Haute South for the foul as Rager was inside. That is going to be on Ryland Schneider, his second, team's 3rd. Now we are going to see Cortez Haynes back in at the next dead ball. Rager at the line, and he gets that one. He's got 8. So Haynes will check in. Schneider will go out. One more for Rager. And he misses that one. Frank with her offensive rebound. And then Vaughn jumps and deflects the pass, and Terre Haute South gets the ball.
Just great awareness. Whenever you can cut off a passing lane, those getting deflections is so crucial. It's almost kind of weird that it took so long for deflections to actually be a stat that people started taking notice of. You know, they took steals were a big deal almost 10, 15 years before deflections started getting counted. Well, granted we have all these advanced stats, but in all honesty, deflections are probably more important than steals.
Yeah, that's definitely a stat that's just come into play the last few years. That was what Tom Crean always preached for when he coached IU, was deflections. There is a miss by Terre Haute South. We'll stay with the Braves. We're going to see Grant Esper for the first time, 5'11" freshman, wearing number 20, replacing Mahiran. (18-15), Terre Haute South. There's Vaughn, good pass. Esper, baseline jumper off the mark. Petty, Hoffman up ahead. He takes it, Petty to follow and scores.
You can immediately see why, even with 2 fouls, Jabril Conte immediately put Petty back in. He is feeling it tonight.
7 points so far for Petty. He and Rager have combined for 15 of the 17 points for Bloomington North. Full timeout for Bloomington North with 4:12 to go. Just a reminder that Varsity will follow 20 minutes after this one. Conference Indiana game tonight. Terre Haute South comes in 6-9, have lost 5 straight. Bloomington North comes in off a win last night against Evansville North, 48-46. Got a double-double from Aaron Steinfeld last night, where he had a season high 23 points to go with.
Just a correction, I think that timeout was actually called by Terre Haute South.
So the timeout called by Terre Haute South, as it's a 1-point lead for Terre Haute South, 18-17. But the one big spark off the bench last night for Bloomington North was Tim Brewster. He had 16 points. He went 4 of 4 from downtown.
Brewster has done an amazing job. Been a starter for most of his high school career and has made the transition to a key player off the bench. As the current Indiana head coach Archie Miller always says, it's not about who starts, it's about who finishes. And Brewster, when he's going, absolutely is a key finisher.
Brewster, the only player that was off the bench last night for Bloomington North. So Jason Spear went with a 6-player rotation. As that shot by Vaughn is missed, Rochelle has it up ahead. Hoffman gets Miller off his feet, gets fouled, and will get to go to the line.
Pump fake is such an underrated weapon. If you're able to get a defender to leave his feet, you basically are able to get free points, whether just getting an open shot or drawing contact and going to the free throw line.
Always one of the kind of lost arts of the game is the pump fake. Also the hook shot, the turnaround shot. It's how the game has changed. Hoffman hits both, and it is 19-18, Bloomington North on top. Vaughn. Rochelle. Hoffman stepped out of bounds. Will be Terre Haute South ball. We'll see Mahiran check back in, replacing Esper. This is a 3 for Richardson, no good, and here comes Bloomington North. Hoffman tries to leave it for Rager, taken away by Terre Haute South. Richardson thought about the 3 for a minute. He'll back it out. Braves working it around now. Richardson gonna fire it from the wing. Off the mark, Rochelle with the rebound. Now a foul on Terre Haute South. They're gonna call Cortez Haynes with his second, the team's 5th. And now they're gonna get Esper back in to replace Haynes. 2 fouls apiece for Schneider and Haynes.
And that's really big, especially for Haynes.
7-player available for Terre Haute South. And they lose
I say
that
it's
one.
big for Haynes because as a post player, you're more likely to draw fouls. I think so. As the longer you can go without getting any kind of fouls, the more comfortable you get. But then you start to kind of get caught out of your rotation. As again, Petty just everywhere on this game. You can definitely tell that into that second half of the first quarter, that Petty being out really was a detriment to Bloomington North.
Petty with 9 points so far. As we approach 2 minutes to go. Richardson drains the 3. This is tied up at 21. Petty inside Rager and just uses his body to the advantage over the smaller Esper.
It's all about just creating that kind of separation. He was able to do it with the hook shot that time. He was up against a shorter player and was able to kind of get his back into it and shoot it.
Hoffman tried to leave it for Petty, chases it down, and then drains the 3 in the corner. 26-21, and Coach Sturd wants a 30-second timeout. So 26-21, a minute 29 left to go. Talk about the other team that we cover, the Edgewood Mustangs. They are in action tonight at Bedford North Lawrence. The boys are 9-6. Then they will play North Putnam in the WIC 7th place game next Friday night, home to Monrovia next Saturday. And then the Terre Haute or Edgewood girls beat North Putnam last night in the 5th place game, 55-41. Shelby Anderson with 14, Trista Helms with 10, 18-5, most wins since the 2010-2011 season when they won 19-8 and won the sectional that year. And they will play here at Bloomington North on Tuesday night. The Cougars fell last night to Columbus North 64-30 as the Lady Columbus North 12 3-pointers on 24 field goals. Amazing.
Yeah, it was an absolute clinic. No matter what kind of defense they threw at them, you're just able to continue to get threes. And it's one thing when you have one player who can shoot a lot of threes. It's another when you have so many players who can shoot a lot of threes.
As Richardson shoots the 3, can't get that to go.
I thought we were going to get a nice segue there, but
they had 2, Lauren Barker and Sierra Norman for Columbus North, both drained 4 threes last night. And then you also got one from Annie Anderson, and then Riley Eater hit her first 3 of the season in her first attempt late in the game. But that's amazing. Half your field goals came on 3s. As there's a foul, it's offensive foul on Rager. So that's his first and the team's 6th. 26-21, Terre Haute or Bloomington North ahead. Vaughn Looks like they're going to go for just one shot here, as Bloomington North not pressuring at the moment. So Vaughn with it to Richardson. Esper gets it blocked by Rochelle, and that will do it for the first half as Bloomington North takes a 26-21 lead, as you see Bryce Petty inside for Bloomington North. And then nice finish, or the block by Josh Hanna. And then Terre Haute South can't finish. Cortez Haynes drains the three for the Braves. And then Zach Rager just cleans up the miss. Richardson with a nice take to the basket for Terre Haute South. And then takes it and steals it. And Tyler Vaughn drains the three in the corner. And then Nate Hoffman misses Bryce Petty to clean up. And then Amari Richardson drains it from outside as we're at halftime. Bloomington North 26, Terre Haute South 21 on Smithville Sports.
I'm Jeff Van Horn, the owner-operator here at Van Horn Tents and Accessories. We've been doing window tinting now for 35 plus years, but over the last 12, 15 years, we've been getting into vehicle wraps. My main job here is just to oversee everyday production, do a lot of the design work here. Occasionally I still get in and do some installation and things like that. You know, I really enjoy that part of it, and that's part of it that I miss a little bit. We started at home and grew from a little 2-car garage to a 3-car garage, and now here we are at a 6,000 square foot facility. Ellettsville has always felt like home. The people are friendly here. It's not, Bloomington's not a big city, but it's still Ellettsville has that hometown vibe to it, and we just really enjoy the people. We like the countryside. We like the quaint environment. People are just friendly and welcome, just open arms. Window tinting is, like I said, it's something we've done for 35 plus years now. The thing we do with window tinting is we offer a lifetime warranty, and that lifetime warranty is through Scorpion, our manufacturer. They are a home-based business as well. They're right here in Indiana, up and around Cloverdale, Greencastle area. We offer a transferable warranty where some places don't do that. If a new owner takes over the vehicle, the warranty's on the vehicle, not the owner, so we'll allow you to transfer, and it's for the lifetime of that vehicle, whether it's a warranty on the defect from the manufacturer or our workmanship. We will take care of it and make sure the customer's happy. We also offer vehicle wraps, which we've been doing for 12, 15 years now. Whether you want to change the color of your vehicle, we could completely change the color for you. And then a lot of things we do more than that is doing a lot of branding for commercial businesses, fleets, etc., whether it be a record business, heating and cooling, police cars, fire trucks. We do a lot of that. That's a main forte of our business, is doing a lot of branding and getting these fleets up and running very fast. When they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars sometimes on vehicles, you got to get them on the road fast and get them making money and getting some return on their investment. We do a lot of just simple graphics, whether it's a window sticker, in memory of sticker, school spirit stickers. No job's too small. We're happy to have those little small stickers, whether it be 400 stickers or 20. We do that for businesses as well. We do a lot of signs, banners for businesses or individuals as well. We also offer paint protection. It's basically a clear rubber membrane that we put on the fronts of cars and in door jambs and stuff to keep them from getting scuffed and scratched and rock chips, sand in the winter. And then we also sell a whole line of professional car detailing products. And probably last but not least, we do a lot of race cars. Motorcycle graphics is a new one we've gotten into with a thicker, heavier material. So we can pretty much do full service on any vehicle, motorcycle, racing vehicle, whatever you're looking for. Smithville's been an intricate part of us getting into the vehicle wrap market. Smithville came to us that 12 to 15 year mark, I don't remember how long it's been, and talked to us about they were going to wrap some vehicles. And we were talking to them, saying, hey, we're interested in buying a big wide format printer. They were just beginning to get affordable at the time. And they came to a show, we wrapped one of my own vehicles. They came to a show and looked at it and liked what they seen. They've been an intricate part about us getting into the wrap game, and very helpful, been a great business. We've rebranded your whole fleet, I think 2 to 3 times over now. And it's been a great business venture for the last 12, 15 years with you guys. The benefits of having a vehicle wrap, one, versus paint is price. The other thing about the vehicle wraps, and one of our main things we do is the fleets, the advertising that you can do to a vehicle versus painting that would cost a fortune to airbrush or hand paint. And once again, that's permanent. We can take, whether it's a color change wrap or whether it's your advertising, you can put it on a vehicle and we can remove it. And 2 years, 5 years, 10 years down the road, and that paint's brand new and protected underneath. It should look like the day we put it on. We can put a photo, of a person or any product or an animal or anything you want on the side of that vehicle. You bring us a digital picture, we can print it, blow it up, and it'll look exactly like the photo. And we can put it down the side of your vehicle for advertisement or personal use, whatever. So there's a lot of advantages to a wrap versus paint that you just can't do. In a new facility here, we do have 2 Muto wide format printers. They print 54 inches wide. And after we're done printing each print, we actually laminate it too. That protects the ink and also gives it another 3 years worth of UV protection. So at a minimum, you get 5 to 6 years worth of wear and tear from sun and the harsh environments, the elements, by doing this. We use about every brand as you can imagine when it comes to collar change wraps. It's mainly just what your preference is as far as a collar. We have all kinds of swatches for people to look at, just like paint samples. People come pick out their favorite collar, we can order that film and use it. My staff, we have 4 employees here, including myself. Beth, my sister, Beth Nixon, she runs the office. She's our office manager. She does all the scheduling, invoicing, takes care of the guys' payroll. She also gets all the vinyl ready for whether it's weeding, cutting prints down, whether it's wrapping canvases, whatever. She's a great help. And then we have 2 brothers that are installers here. We have Travis Brown and Zach Savage. They've been installers here for a little over 3 years. And then we've had an addition. He's worked for me off and on part-time for quite a few years. We're very good friends, is Kedrick Carden. But with a new facility, we were able to bring in more people and just take a lot of load off. The new facility came about as a dream really for a long, long time to doing this full time. Once we finally got in a financial position, worked hard and got a lot of stuff paid for, we were able to dream up this new 6,000 square foot facility where we could actually have a big semi bay where we could back a 53-foot semi trailer in and drop it and wrap it, or put decals on it, or pull in a dump truck out of the weather and tint it or letter it. We can put 4 enclosed trailers in there if we need to. Not to mention the window tint install bay is we can put 4 to 6 vehicles in there at a time. We have a great showroom, waiting room area, and we were able to add a kitchenette for people with coffee or whatever they might need to make their wait a little more pleasant. I think our customer service is good, if hopefully not great. We offer a good warranty, we stand behind our work, and we want to make sure somebody's happy. We try to give people a very fair price, and we have a good, friendly staff, whether it be dealing with Beth or Zach or Travis or Kedrick, whoever it might be. We try to do whatever it takes to make the customer happy in the long run, and like I said, we offer the lifetime warranty on window tint, and we try to stand behind the vehicle wraps and everything else as long as we possibly can. To get in contact with us, you can stop by our new shop here at 4501 Outback. We are located in Ellettsville, right behind the McDonald's. You can look us up on the website, www.vanhorn1.com. Of course, we have all the social media pages, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can always look at our work or contact us on there, look at our ratings. And then, of course, you can just pick up the phone and call us at 812-876-2230. Beth will be glad to schedule you in or answer any questions or put you in touch with me or one of the guys.
We welcome you back to the Cougar Den Tom McKinney Court here at Bloomington High School North, Bloomington, Indiana, as Bloomington North leads Terre Haute South 26-21 as we get ready to start the second half in this JV contest. Glad you could join us for North Cougar basketball on Smithville Sports. Alongside Quinn Saturday, I am Nick Jenkinson. And Quinn, so far, Zach Rager with 10, Bryce Petty with 9 to lead the way for Bloomington North.
Yeah. Those two have been able to really put Bloomington North on their shoulders in that first half. And then conversely, Tyler Vaughn and Amari Richardson put the offensive load on their shoulders. And it's gonna, as it always does, it's always gonna come down to who the supporting cast, who is going to come through whenever you have a tight game and you have really good performers.
Vaughn with 11, Richardson with 7 to lead the way for Terre Haute South. As they're going to call it jump ball possession arrow for Bloomington North. 3 threes in the game for Terre Haute South, 7 field goals, 3 for 4 at the line for Bloomington North. 2 threes, 10 field goals, and 4 for 5 at the line in that first half. There is some moisture on the ball, so assistant coach Mike Sakinick taking care of that. So we will have play back underway. Cougars 12-1 coming into tonight's 13-1 coming into tonight's JV contest. Lone loss at Center Grove is Rochelle, misses the 3, and Mahurin with the rebound.
And if for Bloomington North, Rochelle is that one player that you need to get going, in addition to Petty and Rager.
There is Hoffman, can't get that one to go. Vaughn in the lane, and he gets that one. He has 13. 3-point lead for the Cougars. Rager, Petty outside, rainbow 3, no good. Rager the rebound and put back. He's got 11. Rager in double figure, or with 12. Excuse me, in double figures. Vaughn, Rager the rebound. Here comes Bloomington North. Hoffman for Hannah. Back to Rager, and Rager scores again.
Rager in the post right now is just an unstoppable force. He's 2 inches taller than anyone else on the court, and with his size, he looks like he's 4 or 5 inches taller than everyone else. He's very physical, both on offense and on defense. As you see, just excellent post position right there, staying in front of his man. He has been awesome for this Cougar team.
He's been the workhorse inside. And Petty deflects it and takes it away. Gets in that passing lane. Leaves it for Josh Hanna, but he can't finish. Vaughn with the rebound. Miller guarded by Rochelle and scores over Tyree. That's Andres Miller's first 2 of the night. 30-25. Hoffman gonna fire the three off the mark, Hannah, and then Haynes is gonna get called for the foul. That'll be 3 on Haynes. Josh Hannah will go.
We talked about the short rotations. No one was in the bonus for the first half, so overall, good job by both teams to avoid as much foul trouble as possible. The longer this stays a close game, though, I think that we might be seeing teams get into the bonus, though.
5 fouls for Terre Haute North in the first half, 6 for Bloomington North in the first half, and then lane violation on Terre Haute South, so Hannah will have one more. 6'3" sophomore takes the place of Ryan Bramwell in the starting lineup. He gets that one to go. Miles Frank checks back in, replacing Hannah. (31-25). Cougars on top. Vaughn guarded by Petty. Richardson. Mahiran for 3, got it. Parker Mahiran's first 3 of the night.
And again pushes it to a one-possession game.
Tyree Rochelle
stepped on the line,
and it will be Terre Haute South ball. Rochelle offensively scoreless, but he does so many other things too to help this Bloomington North squad out.
And but on the offensive end, he really needs to get going right now to help Bloomington North create some separation from the Braves. But so far, the offense just isn't coming to him. Either things being just like a half second late or trying to force things.
That's going to be a foul on, or officials having a discussion. They're going to call the foul on Bloomington North. They're going to call Miles Frank his second. Team's first this half. Mahiran couldn't get to 3 this time. Hoffman loses it. Frank can't save it. Terre Haute South does. And it's going to be a bucket for Richardson. Lead cut to 1. Approaching the 2.5-minute mark. Rager.
Oh, had Rager right in the corner. Rager had Rochelle right in the corner.
Did not see him. Petty throws it in traffic. Miller deflected it. Jump ball, possession arrow to Terre Haute South. And then Vaughn does not, almost loses the ball out of bounds. Wasn't paying attention. Miller misses it. Snyder, Miller loses it out of bounds. Bloomington North ball.
Just a very sloppy position from the onset for them. A real missed opportunity because it really felt like the momentum was going their way. I mean, they still definitely had the momentum, but that was a missed opportunity to just keep piling on.
As Hoffman fires the 3 and
and then the momentum shifts.
He drains.
As I was saying, just right there. Could have gone up. Instead, you're down 4 now.
Drains his second 3. 4-point lead for Bloomington North.
Oh, that was an excellent job poking it out by Miller. Immediately saw him try to do a little bit of a crossover and immediately just popped the ball out from in between his hands.
4-point lead for the Cougars. Richardson. Frank is going to commit the foul. His third, team second. Approaching the minute mark here in quarter number 3. As they're gonna get Nate Hoffman for the foul. His first, team's third. And Hoffman with the steal ball on the floor. Gonna call Hoffman for the travel.
But I love the hustle from Hoffman. He has been so dynamite on the defensive side.
Approaching a minute to go here. Quarter number 3. Hoffman's going to get called for the foul this time. That's his second.
Just a little over aggressive. He definitely tell he's a very aggressive defender, but sometimes you're able to, that aggression can lead to pointless fouls.
Under a minute to go. Miller, guarded by Rochelle. Mehurin. Richardson, jumper, or turnaround in the lane. Ball loose, into the hands of Rochelle. They're going to call Rochelle for the travel. Coach Conte yelling instructions at Rochelle, and he moves, just walks away down the floor. Now it's taken away by Hoffman. Petty, good pass underneath to Rager. Six-point lead for Bloomington North. 10 seconds left here in quarter number 3. Rochelle ball loose, out of bounds. Bloomington North ball. They're going to throw it. Hoffman going to fire it. Off the mark, and Bloomington North will go to the fourth quarter with a 6-point lead over Terre Haute South on Smithville Sports.
Smithville Media has produced stunning and engaging features and documentaries for over a decade. Local interest stories, interviews, commercials and event coverage are all part of what we do. Let us showcase your business or create a commercial for your promotions. We can even play your pieces during our live sports broadcasts. For details, speak with a Smithville representative or email media@smithville.com.
We welcome you back here to Bloomington High School North as the Cougars leading Terre Haute South 36-30 as we start the fourth quarter of this JV contest. Just a reminder, Varsity will come 20 minutes after the conclusion of this game, and then our next broadcast is Saturday, February 8th, when Whiteland will visit Bloomington North. The JV will start at noon. The Varsity will start at 1:30, so please note that's an afternoon game. Girls sectional championships are those that night, so we'll have a little matinee Saturday afternoon basketball here 2 weeks from today as Whiteland takes on Bloomington North. Tyler Vaughn with the foul, his first, team's second. Petty inbounds to Rager, can't finish. Esper with the rebound, back in for Terre Haute South, wearing 20. There is Richardson, no good. Rochelle with the rebound. Good pass up ahead. Frank bounce pass, Rager blocked. Richardson open three. Frank late on the closeout, and he pays for it. Terry Richardson in double digits. They foul on Terre Haute South. We're going to get Rylan Schneider for his team's third. Tyree Rochelle misses. Held scoreless tonight.
Just needs to see one get in, just one. And then I definitely feel he'll be able to go off.
So one more for the sophomore, and he gets that one. Lead is 4 for Bloomington North. Richardson
Got away with a bit of a shove.
against Hoffman. Esper. Richardson. Mahurin 3. Drains his second.
And see that wasn't even like that bad a defense. It's just Mahurin has a really fast release.
He's got 6. Rager.
Oh,
Pass
wide
out.
open.
Petty. No good. Rochelle can't. Lets it go, and it's Terre Haute South ball. Now we're going to see Haynes and Miller back in for the Braves. As approaching 5.5 to go, 1 point lead for the Cougars. Miller, turnaround over Rochelle is good.
And that's a lead now. Oh, yeah, that's a lead now for Terre Haute South.
4 points for Andres Miller. Hoffman to answer. No. Frank, the offensive rebound. Miller,
great,
Hoffman.
great seal off by Rager. That right there, he's able to seal the post defender and the help side defense to give him the open basket. That if you could give an assist to a screener, that right there was an assist to Rager.
Bloomington North retakes the lead by 1. Posting up Schneider over Rager, turnaround, off the mark, Haynes gets it. Mahurin throws it up, and he got it to go. He's got 8, all in this second half.
I mentioned it, you need another player to step up. Mahurin has stepped up as we get a 3 right here.
Rochelle misses. One point lead. Vaughn to extend it. No. Miller skies in over Petty. Rager blocks. Here comes Petty. 3 on 2. Up ahead. Rochelle. Offensive foul on Rochelle.
That was just really great placement on defense. Really didn't even have time to try to step around him.
Now you could tell he was going to go to the bucket no matter what. And a good job by Terre Haute South to get in front of him and get that offensive foul call. Haynes against Rager. Are going to get Rager for the foul.
And that's going to be the 6th team foul now on Bloomington North. I mentioned that this, with the very limited rotation right now, that these are, that's 6 fouls for Bloomington North, 3 for Terre Haute South.
Haynes misses that one. First time at the line tonight, and then Coach Conte is going to call a timeout. We want a full timeout with 3:46 to go. Well, while we have this minute, we want to thank our crew, hardworking women and men behind the scenes. Rob Ramsey, our director and technical director. Nate Alarcon, our replays. Noah Barajas, Jeremy Nutter, Catherine Jankowski on the cameras. You and I doing commentary. We thank them for all their hard work that they do, bringing you the sights and sounds of high school basketball and football. all season long. Don't forget, we are on YouTube, www.youtube.com/Smithville Media. You can search Smithville Media, and you can subscribe to the Smithville Media channel on YouTube. So getting crunch time here, 3:46 to go. 1 point lead for Terre Haute South. This one going down to the wire.
Yeah, and even though he isn't a starter, I've just been so impressed with Amari Richardson, and I almost feel like I would want him here in crunch time. Interesting fact, he's the only freshman on this JV team. The rest of them are sophomores, and then with one junior with Haynes. So, oh, I'm sorry, there is one more freshman, my apologies. But he has been extremely impressive. And I would, if I'm Coach Stewart, I would want to see him with the ball maybe in these last couple of minutes, because good things have happened when he's had the ball in his hands.
Bryce Petty gets his first 2 of the second half.
A lot of good things have happened with Petty having the ball in his hands as well.
Petty has 11. Ball is loose. Last touch by Bloomington North, and now Richardson checking back in. And it's going to be Snyder coming out. Richardson almost called for the backcourt violation. Mahiran. Haynes. Driving around to Rochelle, no good. Rager with the rebound.
You got to worry about that 10-second.
And they're going to get the foul call. That will be on Tyler Vaughn, his second.
Bit of a bailout foul, because that was really reaching that 10-second.
Tied at 41. Approaching 2.5 to go. Cougars have not lost since December 7th against Center Grove. 54-47. Rolled off 12 straight. JV wins.
That was excellent anticipation from Miller, knowing that Rager was going to, that pick and roll was coming, and immediately just getting in that passing lane.
Petty's going to inbound it. There's the pass inside Rochelle. They're going to call Haynes for the foul, and that's 4 on Cortez Haynes. Rager inside, and he scores.
Just another dominating performance for Rager. And he's going to have to get for the defense, and showing up on the defensive side as well. Even though he is called for the foul, that is some excellent post defense to help deny that.
That's 3 on Rager. Had to call for the foul. Bloomington North fans wanted the block.
Regardless, that's saved and easy too. So in a way, you take those.
So they're going to put Vaughn at the line, and he gets that one. And Jabril Conte screams a timeout before the second free throw. .247 left to go here. Gonna ice Tyler Vaughn.
More than I don't really feel that it's, I mean, that's a secondary effect, obviously, but I definitely feel that this is to basically get your offense set up. As I mentioned, no shot clock in Indiana high school basketball, so I'm not saying they're going to hold for it, but I'm saying that the possession, you never know how many possessions you have left. Where when there's a shot clock, you have an idea of how many possessions you have left. So you always want to be strategizing to see what kind of plays you have available. And then right there, as I said, Rager, even though that was called a foul, that was an excellent foul by him because it ended up only getting 1 out of 2 instead of an automatic 2.
Vaughn misses the free throw, and then empty possession for Bloomington North. Just under 2 to go. Richardson, Hoffman touched it back into the hands of Richardson.
Oh, that was awesome defense right there by Hoffman.
Yeah, he sealed Richardson off.
Richardson was going for that step back, but Hoffman said no.
And then Mahurin draws the foul on Rager, and that will be 4 on Zach.
I cannot give enough credit to you could see it right there. Richardson crossing over, ready for that step back 3, and Hoffman was not giving him an inch.
8 fouls on Bloomington North, so Terre Haute South into 1-1. Parker Mahurin, 5'11" sophomore, 8 points all coming in this second half. And he dribbles the ball behind his back before he puts the free throw up, and that was no good. Great shot by our crew to catch Mahurin's little, free throw routine of putting the ball behind his back. Petty gets it to Rochelle.
And see, this is exactly what I was talking about, that timeout. That Jabril Conte probably told him about this in this kind of situation. As they try to waste the time. And a huge 3 by Rochelle let's just say it's struggling for a lot of the game. That is a clutch 3 by him.
Clutch 3 with 43.1 to go as Coach Stewart calls the timeout and a 4-point Cougar lead. Big shot for Tyree Rochelle. 4 points tonight, all coming here in this fourth quarter. As we mentioned, struggled in the offense. Missed the dunk earlier. Has had a couple of other plays where, he turned it over and stuff. Mm-hmm. But he finally got the shot that he wanted.
Yeah, trying to force a lot. Just kind of put into some really bad positions. And you have to credit the Braves as well because they did a lot of that. They kind of forced him into those kind of positions, but he stuck with it. Conte has kept faith in him, hasn't pulled him aside. He said, I'm riding him, I trust him, and the trust is paid off as he has made some big plays here in this fourth quarter.
Stepped up big time as the Cougars coming up with their schedule at Columbus East next Saturday, February 6th at Edgewood, February 8th, Whiteland, February 14th at Terre Haute North, February 21st, Columbus North. They will honor the 2000 state runner-up team that night, 20th anniversary of that team with Jared Jeffries and Sean May, February 22nd at Floyd Central, February 28th, New Albany to close it out.
Has it really been 20 years? Wow.
And then the last one-class state champion was 1997, won by Bloomington North, so 23 years. That is hard to believe. Coach Conte on that state championship team along with Quet Dewaney, both Indiana All-Stars in 1998. As we mentioned, Maynard Lewis, the head coach of Terre Haute South, 1998 Indiana All-Star as well.
And Rochelle with a huge rebound as well.
But now a turnover. Haynes, Richardson, 16 seconds. 3, no good. Schneider, the rebound. That's going to do it for Zach Rager. Oh, they're going to call Petty instead. So Snyder at the line, scoreless tonight. Gets that one. And
The problem right now is that they need to play the foul game, and they are 2 fouls away from being in the bonus.
And he misses that one. Ball loose. Rager recovers. Rochelle, and then a big slap by Miller. And it will be Terre Haute South ball as Bloomington North touched it last. And then Lucas Stewart is going to call a full timeout for Terre Haute South with 5.7 remaining.
I don't want to sound presumptuous, but I don't think that that's how that was written up, how that situation wasn't how they intended to get the ball back. But you know what? As I just said earlier, we take those.
You take them any way you can get them. If it's a crazy play like that, or no matter what. So 5.7 left to go. Varsity comes up 20 minutes after this one.
So here's the big thing: is that who's taking this three, this chance to tie it? Is it Mahiran or is it Vaughn? Vaughn has been the leading scorer.
Or Richardson. Richardson's got 2 threes as well.
Richardson as well. But you got to be thinking that you have 3 players right now that you need to worry about who are knockdown three-point shooters. And if you're Terre Haute South, I hate to say it, but considering the fact that you only have 5 fouls, you got to take a 3. You can't do a quick 2.
They're going to have Mahiran inbound. It's going to be Vaughn. Petty's down, and they through the hands of Richardson, and that will do it out of bounds. Bloomington North ball, and the Cougars are going to go to 14-1 on the JV season and have a 13-game winning streak. Frank's just going to throw it up for Rager, and that will do it as Mahiran wants a foul, but he's not going to get it. And Bloomington North wins 46-43. So as we look at the highlights, Bryce Petty misses, but Zach Rager dominated inside this whole game. Andres Miller scores for Terre Haute South. Parker Mahiran drops one of his 2 threes for the Braves. Nate Hoffman drains it for Bloomington North. Rager inside. Hoffman to Frank to Rager, and then he gets blocked. And then here comes the transition for Richardson. Step back 3, drains it. Close games throughout as Andres Miller scores again. Nice pass inside Tyree Rochelle, the big time shot here in the 4th as Bloomington North wins it 46-43. For all the hardworking women and men behind the scenes, for my partner Quinn Saturday, I am Nick Jenkinson. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you 20 minutes from now on Smithville Sports. And we welcome you to the Cougar Den, Tom McKinney Court here at Bloomington High School, North Bloomington, Indiana, where tonight the Terre Haute South Braves are in town to take on the Bloomington North Cougars. Glad you could join us for North Cougar basketball on Smithville Sports alongside Quinn Saturday. I am Nick Jenkinson, and Quinn, Cougars come in 12-4, fresh off a 73-55 win at Evansville North last night with a double-double from Aaron Steinfeld and a big-time performance off the bench from Tim Brewster.
Yeah, Bruce, we were talking about it in the JV game. Brewster has done an exceptional job in his senior season after being a starter for most of his high school career, coming off the bench and really making the most of it, being a true team-first player and really coming through in some huge spots. You think about, like, to the South game, he almost single-handedly willed that team back in that fourth quarter. He had a huge three-pointer that got things going, and then they almost came back to win. And he's had some other big moments, as you mentioned, just yesterday. So it's a great sign of maturity by him, and it's made the team a lot better. And it's just very exciting to see this Bloomington North team, after a couple of years kind of trapped in the desert, kind of be like, oh, they're going to come back this year. Finally, back in the winner's circle where they have always belonged. They have a rich tradition, and glad to see them adding to it.
As we get ready here for the announcements and then the national anthem, Terre Haute South 6-9 on the year, did not play last night. They come in on a 5-game losing streak. Their last game was against Terre Haute North last week, 67-55 loss. And we will pause here for the national anthem with the Bloomington North Pep Band in the house performing tonight. Great job by the Bloomington North Pep Band as we get ready now for the starting lineup for Terre Haute South. Jaden Thomas is a 5'10 junior wearing number 2. Amarie Wilson is a 5'11 sophomore. Cordell Haynes, 6 foot senior wearing number 12. Brian Apollone, 6 foot sophomore, and then Kapil Reddy, 6'5 senior, coached by Maynard Lewis, 52-43, 4 years at the school, 2 winning seasons, 2000 sectional championship in 2018. Former Terre Haute South player himself, 1998 graduate, 1998 Indiana All-Star, and then played at Purdue from 98 to 2002. They turn off the lights here. Nick Kleiber, 6'1 sophomore for Bloomington North, J.Q. Roberts, 6'5" freshman, number 13. Isaac Venzel, 6'2" junior. Then it's going to be 23, Jeremiah Blair, 6'3", senior. And then Mr. Double-Double, Aaron Steinfeld, 6'5", junior, for Jason Spear, 31 and 29 in 3 years at the school, 146 and 77, 10 years overall. Coached Columbus North from 2008 to 2015. And then he also coached the Bloomington North girls for 2 years from 2015 to 2017. This series, Terre Haute North and Bloomington South tied. They started playing in the regular season in 2011. They also met in the 97 regional semis in Terre Haute, where Bloomington North won 58-48. Coach Lewis 0-1 as a player against Bloomington North, but 2-1 as a coach against the Cougars. We are underway here from the Cougar Den.
So what you're saying is he's 2-2 and this is a rubber match.
Absolutely. Steinfeld outside three, and he buries it.
The continued evolution of Aaron Steinfeld's game is just a treat to watch. You just mentioned the double-double, and we talked about it this season. His evolution and his being able to hit the three as well.
10-3 of the season for Steinfeld, averages 10.7, 77-3 for Bloomington North this year. Wilson cannot get the three to go, and Steinfeld with a rebound. Kleiber to Roberts, and he scores. Roberts held scoreless last night at Evansville North, averages 5.5 a game.
Yeah, you definitely can see a lot of talent with Roberts. Still trying to basically find a role here with a lot of team that has played with each other for a couple of seasons now. But you can definitely see that sooner or later he's going to become a star for this team.
He's definitely the future of Bloomington North as just a freshman. Jeremiah Blair to the bucket. Steinfeld, they're going to wave it off and say offensive foul.
Yep, the clear over the back.
So quick 5-0 lead for the Cougars. So they work the ball around. Jaden Thomas, R.A. Wilson, Cordell Haynes shot off the mark. Reddy can't save it, and it's Bloomington North ball. Saw this Terre Haute South team in the Wabash Valley Classic December 30th against Sullivan, lost 60-45. It was a game they really were never into, down 33-19 at the half, and only hit one outside shot. Venzel leaves it for Kleiber. Blair, right down the lane, good move, and he's got his first two.
Yeah, excellent awareness to see the player try to take the charge and sidestep him. You're always allowed that one step on the drive, and Blair has been really good at using it to his advantage.
Looking for their first points, in and out for Wilson. Terre Haute South recovers, and then it's going to be a foul as Braden Turner.
I think someone just reported a robbery on that shot. That was literally halfway down through the net and then decided, nah, I don't want to go in there.
J.Q. Roberts with the foul. Braden Turner at the line. And he gets his first two. Then one more for Turner. He gets that one. Checking in for Terre Haute South, Deontay Wade, 6'1" senior. Bloomington North brings it up 7-2. J.Q. Roberts to Kleiber. Blair gonna fire the three in the corner, off the mark, and Haynes with the rebound. Turner. Wilson. Haynes, spin move, gets it to go. Jeremiah Blair, Steinfeld for three, perfect.
And the big thing about that is that Steinfeld being able to hit the three has really allowed the spacing to be so much better because it allows Blair to basically operate freely among the paint.
11 threes for Steinfeld on the year. That's a miss by Haynes. They're going to say Terre Haute South touched it last. As the Cougars off to a 10-4 lead. Wenzel. Kleiber. Roberts, nice pass inside to Steinfeld. Coach Lewis has seen enough.
Yeah, by Coach Lewis. This is not the kind of start that the Braves were looking for. Kind of similar to the JV game where Bloomington North just went out early, punched him in the mouth. We'll see now if the varsity team responds like the JV team did.
As you see, Coach Lewis mentioned 1998, graduate of Terre Haute South, Indiana, All-Star. He's had 2 winning seasons. He was 19-8 in 2016-17, 20-8 in 2017-18, won that title. And then a season ago, 7-18, they lost to Terre Haute North in the sectional first round, 63-61. Offensive average last year, 54.4, and gave up 65.0. They're 0-2 coming into tonight's conference matchup. Bloomington South on top at 3-0, Columbus North 2-0, Bloomington North 1-1, Terre Haute North 1-2, Southport and Terre Haute South 0-2. So it's a tough sectional, and as I talked to Coach Lewis before the game about that Sullivan game, they had lost to Linton the day before, and as you know, playing basically 4 games in 5 days, that's always a tough stretch, and you got to be ready to go every game. And he just said, hey, we just weren't ready to come. We weren't ready to play that day.
Yeah, in that kind of setting, especially early in the season, it can be really tough if you have kinks to iron out, especially with no practice to, because, I mean, you're already playing games every single day. The practice is going to be basically walk through at most.
And the interesting thing, too, is they play a variety of teams. They're 0-6 so far against Class 4A schools, and they're 1-4 on the road. About an hour trip from Terre Haute to Bloomington. Of course, did not play last night. Had the night off. Steinfeld again from downtown, no good. And Brylan Apollone with the rebound in the game for Terre Haute South. There is Apollone. Terre, guarded by Steinfeld. To Turner. Here is Wade, and he just throws it out of bounds. We will now see Griffin Comer, number 40 for Terre Haute South, Tim Brewster, and Cade Loffman in the game for Bloomington North, replacing Steinfeld and Wenzel.
Already more players played tonight than in last night when they only had a 6-man rotation.
Cade Loffman getting in on the action, 1.6 points a game. Brewster 7.1 on the year. Wilson saves it to Comer. Now he'll bring the ball up, raising up the floor. Gets it to Turner. Roberts blocks Turner. Here comes Bloomington North. Brewster gives it to Kleiber. Cougars reset. Kleiber for three, no good. Roberts the rebound. Roberts, a lot of contact inside, and he will go to the line.
You mentioned Roberts didn't score yesterday. Definitely see that he's extremely motivated tonight. Already got some points and playing extremely hard. I definitely see that he's going to be a big factor in this game.
He misses the free throw. He struggles from the line 52%. Cordell Haynes back in replacing Turner. But 89 points in 16 games. It started all 16 games as a freshman. Nate Toohill is now in, replacing Roberts. So an 8-man rotation so far for Coach Spear here in this first quarter. And sometimes when your team is just that hot, you want to just keep the guys that's doing it for you on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
4 guys of the 6 in double figures last night. Venzel and Roberts the only 2 not for the Cougars. That was blocked. Toohill now takes it away. 1-on-1. Wade blocks Toohill.
That was a sensational block by Wade. Basically stayed with him stride for stride and then basically just returned to sender.
Good block by Deontay Wade. Blair drives baseline, offensive foul.
And the whole reason behind that was that hesitation. He thought about taking that shot and then decided not to kind of force that, which allowed his defender to get set to draw that charge.
And Wade took that charge. So there's two big plays Wade has just made in the last few seconds. Steinfeld's in, Blair is out. Wilson to Wade. Now you see the size matchup inside with Comer and Steinfeld. Comer underneath, Steinfeld gets the rebound. Brewster. Nice pass, Steinfeld cutting in the lane, scores. (15-4), minute to go. Wade thought about it. Up alone. Wilson. That is Wilson with it. He had 10 in that game against Sullivan back in December. Kleiber, his first 2 of the night. Down to 15 seconds. Wilson. Apollone throws it up, off the mark, out of bounds, and that will do it. Bloomington North dominates the first quarter against Terre Haute South, 17-6 on Smithville Sports.
Whether it's countertops, an outdoor kitchen, or a custom shower, Inside Out Kitchen and Bath can make your ideas reality. Based locally in Ellettsville, our staff have over 30 years experience in the business and the dedicated ability to get your job done right. Stop in and see us at 4053 North Centennial Drive in Ellettsville, just opposite Arby's. Visit our website at www.iokb.us or give us a call at 812-803-8005. We'll help you complete your project inside and out.
As we welcome you back to the Cougar Den here at Bloomington High School North. Cougars lead Terre Haute South 17-6 as we get ready for the second quarter of play. Glad you could join us for North Cougar basketball on Smithville Sports alongside Quinn Saturday. I am Nick Jenkinson, and Quinn Aaron Steinfeld already in that first quarter with 10 points puts him in double figures for the 11th time this season.
Yep, just 7 more rebounds to go for him, and then he can get another double-double. But, yeah, he has came out firing tonight. You can definitely feel that his confidence is just booming at this point. Not afraid to take the three. You could see early in the season when I was mentioning how surprised I am, you could see a little bit of hesitation. Now there's no hesitation. He feels confident in that, and it's unlocked a lot of his game and a lot of opportunities for this Cougar team.
As the Braves get it to start the second quarter, 10th time that Bloomington North has led after one, and Deontay Wade scores for Terre Haute South, his first 2. Miss. Recovered by Jaden Thomas. As Griffin Comer inside with Steinfeld, has to get it back out to Wade. Shot fake, misses. Steinfeld, baseball pass, and then it looked like it just hit Loftman in the face and went out of bounds. So that's why Steinfeld's the tight end, not the quarterback.
Yeah, not the quarterback.
Keep leaving that to Reese Lozano.
And Kate Loftman's a receiver, so.
Yeah, he should have been ready for that. Loftman and Steinfeld, 2 football players, along with Xavier Trueblood, who has not seen any action this season due to football injuries. But Kleiber steals it, has Loftman trailing. He's going to take it himself. He gets fouled and will go to the line. Deontay Wade is first, team's second. Kleiber at the line, 83% from the foul line. North as a team, 71%. Kleiber at 10.8 points a game. He gets that one to go. Amari Wilson and Kapil Reddy into the game for Terre Haute South. Pencil back in for the Cougars. Kleiber hits both. Marco Fitch checks in for the first time tonight. Wearing number 10. So 9 players used so far by Jason Spear. Maybe he was just saving them all for tonight.
I mean, it is a conference game.
Big conference game as well. Brewster picks it up, and then Haynes gets fouled, or gets the foul. Team's third. Wenzel corner, missed. Brewster with it. Terre South resets their defense. 2 Hill for 3. Off the mark, Wenzel tried to tip it in, and Reddy with the rebound. Wilson now just dribbles it back out. Gets it to Thomas. Haynes. Spin move over Brewster. Too strong. Steinfeld rebound.
Quite a few like shots that have just kind of been off the mark here.
Wenzel blocks Apollone. Thomas. Steinfeld rebounds. He's getting there to that double-double. Marco Fitch resets. To Hill. Steinfeld, Fitch. Gonna throw up a reverse layup, and it goes for Marco Fitch.
Just like he drew it up. But in all seriousness, that was just great balance to be able to take that contact. Surprised he didn't get the and one as well.
Fitch has scored 5 points coming into tonight through 10 games. They're going to get Fitch for the foul, and now J.Q. Roberts is going to check back in, replacing Toohill. Wilson. Apollone. Gets it to Haynes. Haynes gets the roll.
Couple of off the mark shots for Haynes to start the game. Finally able to get one to drop. See if he's able to heat up here.
Off Venzel, Terre Haute south ball. Amari Wilson with it. It's to Brylan Apollone. And it's taken away. Here's Brewster. Up ahead, Venzel. And he gets it over Reddy, and Venzel on the board for his first two.
Yeah, Venzel hadn't scored up until this point. He's the leading scorer at 13.5 points per game. But he's been really active, especially in the last couple of minutes on defense. You definitely knew that it was only going to be a matter of time before he got on the board.
Has 11 games in which he's scored double figures. Had 9 last night against Evansville North. Ready. Apollone against Roberts. Thomas. Nice pass inside to Reddy, and he's going to score as Steinfeld's going to get called for the foul.
It was a good pass, but that was an excellent cut by Reddy, who basically cut to the outside, trying to help kind of like separate space from him as he went down the baseline. But as soon as he was trapped at the baseline, he immediately ran right back down towards the basket to make the pass much easier. Was able to beat his man to get to the bucket.
So they're cleaning up some moisture on the floor. Good job by the guy rocking the IU jersey. As Capil ready at the line, 6'5" senior. And gets that one to go. Lead is 10 for Bloomington North.
And we're not seeing the kind of separation that was in that first quarter. It's kind of just gone steady for both sides.
Venzel. They're going to count it for Venzel. Going to get Braden Turner for the foul. Team's fourth. Venzel, as we mentioned, leading scorer, 13.5 points a game, 68% from the line on the season. And he misses, but he gets the rebound and the putback. Now he's got 6 all in this second quarter.
Isaac Venzel is a very emotional player, so he always lets his defense turn into offense. You can definitely tell by his aggression level how successful he's going to be. And you saw that he kind of like disappeared into the scenery in that first quarter, let Steinfeld be able to rock it out there. And then as soon as you saw him come back from the bench on the game, you saw him make play after play after play defensively, which then led to him being able to score the 6 points he has in this quarter.
Approaching the 3-minute mark. Here we'll have a halftime feature for you. Wilson fires the three off the mark. Blair with the rebound. As Blair gets it, Kleiber gonna fire the three. No good. J.Q. Roberts the rebound, can't finish. Blair the rebound and can't finish again. A foul called and it's gonna go against Blair. That's his second, and the team's sixth, so one more in Terre Haute South in the bonus. Deontay Wade is back in, and Griffin Comer back in for Terre Haute South, replacing Reddy and Thomas. And then Cade Loffman back in for the Cougars, replacing Jeremiah Blair. Wilson inside, gonna get called for the travel.
Yeah, he stopped on a dime for the shot, but was able to get his defender to kind of get out of position, try to sneak it out there, as that's an excellent defensive deflection by Haynes.
And then Haynes in traffic draws contact with Roberts and Loffman defending him.
And you mentioned that the foul's at 6, now it's 7, so bonus rest of the half for the Braves.
Second on J.Q. Roberts. He, Blair, and Steinfeld all have 2 apiece. Cordell Haynes, 6-foot senior, 4 points. So far makes it 5. Marco Fitch back in for Bloomington North, placing Roberts. Then Haynes with the free throw is good. He's got 6. Lead is 12. Kleiber gets it to Brewster. Loffman. Fitch. To Venzel. They're going to get Terre Haute South for the foul. Coach Lewis not happy. He wants the offensive foul. They're going to get Haynes for his second. Braden Turner coming.
Sometimes I just can't make heads or tails of a charge block foul. And that's one of those times where I can't make up my mind on what that is. I mean, you had to call something, but I agree with Coach Lewis. I probably would have leaned charge, especially because he kind of let in with the elbow.
And those are 50-50 calls every time.
It all depends. It kind of depends on just the angle of where the refs are and what they see.
As Kleiber gets the bucket, he's got 6. Lead is 14. Apollone. No good from 3. Kleiber the rebound. North gonna push. Fitch. Nice pass to Loffman, and he scores his first 2. Coach Lewis seen enough and wants a timeout. "30-second timeout with 1:18 to go." Mentioned that Terre Haute South has struggled against 4A teams. Their wins come against Cloverdale, Charleston, Illinois, South Vermilion, Evansville Memorial, Riverton Park, and Casey Westfield. Been on a 5-game losing streak, lost to Linton, Sullivan in the Wabash Valley Classic, then Columbus North by 30, then Evansville Rights, and then Terre Haute North last week by 12. Tough road for the Braves at Bloomington South next Friday, then Brownsburg, 2 of the top teams in 4A, then Northview at Plainfield, at Linton, West Vigo, Southport, and then Vincennes, Lincoln before the sectional. Talking to both Coach Lewis and Coach Lucas Stewart, the JV coach for the game. Terre Haute South has been riddled with some injuries, suspensions, players kicked off the team, so all sorts of issues throughout the year for these Terre Haute South Braves.
Yes, it's been constant in change and having to create chemistry on the fly, and sometimes you just need a little luck to go your way, just like on that 3.
Braden Turner bank stays open late on Saturdays as Brewster is fouled by Wade. Second on Wade, team 6. One more in Terre Haute. Bloomington North will be in the bonus. Brewster at the line. 7.1 coming into tonight. Started the first 6 games of the season before Aaron Steinfeld took his spot. Comer comes in, Wade goes out. One more for Brewster and gets that one. It's 32-18 lead. Under a minute to go. There is Comer, Wilson, Appleholm. Comer guarded by Loffman, puts up a tough shot and scores. 32-20, Kleiber. Foul before the shot. Coach Lewis thinks Kleiber traveled.
I don't think anything that. I think that basically, I don't want to call it a flop, but Kleiber did a nice head fake right there as he went to the basket. I think that's what the refs called, is that I thought he got hit.
Well, I've seen it too, where they're now calling that continuation, kind of like they do in college in the NBA. And I think that's what that was as well. They waited till Kleiber got past and then decided to call the foul. He gets the free throw. He gets both. He is up to 8 tonight, 34-20.
Kleiber as a scorer has improved so much as a scorer. We saw him as basically a point guard, a pass first point guard his freshman year.
Wilson left, could not get it to go, and that will do it. And Bloomington North is going to go in the locker room up 14. Here are the highlights. Aaron Steinfeld starts it off with a triple. He's got double digits at 10. J.Q. Roberts, athletic freshman, scores inside. Nice move by Cordell Haynes. And then it's Nate Toohill getting blocked by Deontay Wade. Good take by Terre Haute South to the basket. Marco Fitch, acrobatic layup. Nick Kleiber to the bucket. Braden Turner, the outside 3. As we're at halftime, Bloomington North leads Terre Haute South 34-20 on Smithville Sports.
Indiana is known for its limestone. In fact, Indiana limestone is used all over the world. But every year here in Ellettsville, Indiana, the Limestone Symposium happens. Let's find out a little bit more about that.
My name is Amy Breyer, and I'm a co-founder of the Indiana Limestone Symposium. It's a 3-week-long event held every June. This is the 23rd year, and we have carvers who come from local and all over the country to carve limestone and be together and make a lot of dust and noise and have a good time. The limestone is soft. It finishes with a chisel. There's no polishing and all the processes that one goes through with marble. And it's also kind of our American stone. It's the what we call the fabric of many, many historic buildings and monuments and state houses, and even down to porch steps and door sills. I think it's in every state in the contiguous U.S., and it comes from right here. All throughout Europe is a tradition of stone symposium. The first one I saw was in Carrara, for example. They took a piazza, they put about 8 or 10 quarry blocks of marble in the piazza. Then they invite artists to come, carvers to come and work on site. It's a public event, everybody watches. So I came here and thought, why isn't there one here? It's the perfect place. So this one is really a workshop, although we call it a symposium.
My name is Kathy Haggerty. I have several businesses in this county, so I'm a pawnbroker. I also deal antiques and collectibles, and I love limestone carving. I'd advise anybody to give it a try. You know, you never know till you try something. I was intimidated. I thought, oh, I'm not a professional. There's all these people that are going to know what they're doing, and I just can't do it. I came anyway, and I say it's been probably 8, 9 years. I come back every year. There's no pressure. There's no competition. You're not here to compete with anybody. I do things, I guess you'd say they're much more whimsical because they're fun. You know, I've got the fat cat I did. I have 2 gargoyles I've done before. I did a big horse head one time. They're things that I just want to do. They're not necessarily a big art piece for money for anybody. There are people here that are professional that do that do big pieces that are installed across the nation or the world. I do it for fun. I do. It's just fun if somebody can look at a piece and smile and go, that's what it's all about.
Walking around the symposium work area, I got a chance to speak with some of the sculptors.
What I'm doing right this morning is what's called getting off the block. I spent the first couple of days establishing my profile, getting an opening, at least part of my opening, my hole through the piece that's planned to be in the piece. Actually, the hole is to make it easier to flip when we need to pick it up and things like that as well. But establishing it, then this morning, I'm taking my tools and starting to round the edges of the piece, since this is going to be basically a big teardrop shape. And then I'm going to lay in the different parts of texture when I get ready a little further along. But today is getting off the block. As you see with the lines drawn here, these will be different sets of texture on the piece when it's finished. But really what you do out here, since you're given 8 cubic feet of stone to work with, or can have up to that big a block, you do your design and then scale it up. Because my point of me coming is to be able to work as big as possible when I've got the equipment, access to the equipment to handle it, particularly at the front end. Because it's much safer for them to be handling a sawed side block that can slip, the straps can slip on, than it is for me to have one shipped and dumped on my sidewalk and then kind of go, okay, have fun. You know? No, this is much safer. And like I said, the camaraderie is just a nice, big and nice extra.
I'm Cheryl Lawrence. I live in Indianapolis and teach at Ivy Tech Community College, Fine Arts there. And I've been coming to the symposium since 2012. At that time, I still lived in New Mexico, and I was thinking about moving here. And then I did move here, and I thought, now I have the best stone right in my backyard. So I've been coming since, and I've made a whole new group of sculpture friends here.
Good deal. So we headed over here a couple of days back, and there was just a chunk of limestone here, just a big chunk of limestone. And in that time, you created something absolutely incredible here. You're working from this little model here, right?
Yeah, it's epoxy clay, so it hardens, which is great out here because it doesn't soften up on me or, melt in the heat.
Okay.
And I can handle it without it distorting.
And that is going to be that, or a version of that.
I like to work from a plan, but I like the spontaneity that happens when you carve the stone.
Right.
Because you just kind of, it's also bigger. You just kind of start to get to dance around it and explore some possibilities. And I like to just let that happen and solve it as I go.
We also got a few words from John Fisher. a master carver and one of this year's featured instructors.
I want to teach a certain method of carving. So I believe it's the ancient method of carving, but that method has been lost over the centuries.
So what is this ancient method? What's different about it? What's different about it?
The difference is basically you should never look at the front of your chisel. You should never be able to see the front of the chisel. Because if I'm seeing the front of the chisel, I'm looking at the stone I'm taking away, which is my waste material. Okay. If you carve the material in front of you, this material is backed up by material, and so it's harder to take off. However, on the very edge, what I call the profile is not a volume, it's a line. And that line, you can say, is either correct or incorrect. And if it's incorrect, you could draw a new line, and then you put your chisel on the line, and you hit, and you're looking behind your chisel, and the chip flies away from you, and it breaks exactly on the line. So I draw a new line, right. That's my new line. Gotcha. I put my chisel right on the line, and I hit, and it breaks right on the line. And so now I have a new line, and if that line was the line of a shoulder or a knee or whatever, then I've defined that line. I don't have to think about volume, because this will always be volume. What has to be correct is that every line is correct as I walk around it.
Although Sharon worked extensively on her piece at the symposium, she decided to complete it after returning home to South Carolina. Cheryl didn't finish her piece during the symposium, but she did send us photos of her finished gorilla.
We have a website, limestonesymposium.org. Tons of information there, videos, all sorts of things.
As we welcome you back to the Cougar Den, Tom McKinney Court, Cougars on top of Terre Haute South, 34-20, as we get ready to start the second half. Glad you could join us for North Cougar basketball and Smithville Sports. Alongside Quinn Saturday, I am Nick Jenkinson. Quinn, the Cougars are 11-0 when they lead at the half, and Aaron Steinfeld, 10 first quarter points, now his 11th game in double figures this year.
Yeah, it's been a very impressive showing in that first half from Bloomington North. But the thing is, and we talked about it during half, off camera, Terre Haute South is very fortunate to only be down 14 points as we start the second half. And if they can get some offense, if they can get some consistent offense going, they have a chance to steal this one.
Yeah, Cordell Haynes leads with 6. Braden Turner 5, 3 from Peel Reddy, 2 from Amari Wilson, Deontay Wade, and Griffin Comer. Wilson kind of leads this team, and he's been held to 2 points. Kleiber has 8, Vincel 6, JQ Roberts 3, Cade Loffman, Marco Fitch, Jeremiah Blairy have 2, and Tim Brewster has a point. We are underway here in the second half. Feel ready, gets it to Amari Wilson. 3 left short, Steinfeld rebound, run out for Vincel, and he finishes.
He floated in the air right there, able to prevent the steal, stay up in the air long enough to still get up a shot.
8 points for Vincel. Braden Turner to Capil ready. Terre Haute South has good ball movement, but it's that North defense stifling. Haynes puts up the three and gets it. Terre Haute South just 1-3 in the first half as Kleiber scores, and he is now in double figures. Haynes misses, Steinfeld the rebound.
You can tell that Haynes is just wanting to explode as an easy transition bucket for Roberts, but he keeps missing on some of these shots that he should be making.
Nice play, nice pass from Kleiber to find Roberts. Steinfeld the rebound. He's got to be inching closer to that double-double now. As inside Jeremiah Blair, and it's a quick 8-3 run for Bloomington North as Maynard Lewis calls a timeout.
Only 2 timeouts remaining for Terre Haute South.
5:46 to go here in quarter number 3. A reminder, 2 weeks from today we'll be back here for boys basketball. Whiteland, who is 3-10 currently on a 5-game losing streak, will play at Mooresville January 31st, at Columbus North next Saturday, and then Indian Creek February 6th. We'll be here at Bloomington North. The Cougars play at Columbus East next Saturday, and then Edgewood at Edgewood February 6th. That will be a game. Note that JV for Saturday, February 8th will start at noon, varsity at 1:30. That is because the girls basketball sectional championships are held that night, so the boys will play in the afternoon. The girls sectional draw is tomorrow at 5 o'clock on IHSAA-TV.org and radio stations around the state. So these two teams, their sectionals for Bloomington North, it'll be Bloomington South, Columbus East, Columbus North, East Central, and Martinsville. Terre Haute South is Brownsburg, Mooresville, Avon, Plainfield, and Terre Haute North. So their girls teams will find out tomorrow night who they will be playing in the sectionals. Hard to believe that girls basketball season is in the final week of the regular season. As Cordell Haynes rims in and out, Blair with the rebound.
And that one is definitely not on him. That was just very unlucky.
Blair off the mark, and Steinfeld there for the rebound and putback.
Does that count as a rebound? Is that a pass?
I'm going to say that's a rebound.
Depends on who you ask.
If you've ever seen that 30 for 30 on NC State's team in 1983, Derek Wittenberg swears all the time that was a pass to Lorenzo Charles. And after seeing that replay over and over again many years, that's a shot. It just was short. And Lorenzo Charles was there to beat Houston for that championship. Amari Wilson misses. Now he's holding his head as he's down out of bounds. Play continues. Kleiber misses. Blair scores, and now they'll stop play as Wilson is on the floor with a head injury, and the Bloomington North training staff running out to check on him immediately. Looks like a great shot there by our camera crew. Coach Lewis out there as well.
Yeah, he immediately grabbed the back of his neck after that missed shot.
He is down in pain as they are tending to the young man. Amari Wilson, 5'11", sophomore. Should get a look at the Terre Haute South bench. Tradition for Terre Haute South, several Indiana All-Stars. Cam Cameron played for IU. Tony McGee played in the NFL, also at Michigan. Steve Hart started at IU, went to Indiana State. Brian Evans legend for IU basketball, Maynard Lewis, of course, the head coach. Jake Odom went to Indiana State. Jalen Minette in 2017, D'Avion Washington in 2018, also playing Division I basketball. Bloomington North's got a host of Indiana All-Stars. Terry Stotts, the head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers. Dwayne, Jabril Conte, Quet Dwayne. Pair of Mr. Basketballs with Jared Jeffries, Sean May. As Turner misses, Eric Storer, Bill Dwayne, and Julian Boatner. So both teams got a ton of talent that's come through those schools' hallways. Brian Apollone is now in the game. Brylan Apollone in the game for Terre Haute South. He's going to take the three. Miss. Venzel the rebound. Transition. Up ahead. Blair. Nice step and scores and will go to the line.
And see, this is what I was talking about. That if the game felt the game was a lot closer than it felt, and that Terre Haute South needed to take advantage of that, and the opposite has happened. Bloomington North has basically jammed their foot through the pedal and onto the floor of the car at this point.
Well, it was a 14-point halftime lead. Has gone to 26, and Turner gets called for the travel. Cougars are 11-0 this year when they lead after 3. 1-4 when they trail. Kleiber left it short. And then here is Wade, picks it up, one-on-one with Venzel. He can't finish. Steinfeld ahead to Kleiber. Kleiber and one. It has become a clinic now in this third quarter for Bloomington North. Ready with the foul, his second. Mari Wilson is back in for Jaden Thomas. So good that Wilson's back in.
I hinted at it in the first half, but I just want to reiterate here in the second half that Nick Kleiber, kind of similar to Isaac Venzel, during that freshman season, kind of a pass first point guard. You're really starting to see his offensive game blossom right here, and just how athletic and fast he is to the basket, able to make like tremendous and one layups like that.
11 games now in double figures. His best game, Kleiber, 20 against Scottsburg, 16 last night against Evansville North. Ready with the pass inside to Deontay Wade, and he's got 4. Venzel in double figures now for the 12th time this season. And now he takes it away against Wade, one-on-one, and he gets fouled and will go to the line.
Here's an impressive stat for you. All 3 fouls that Terre Haute South has committed in this half have led to free throws for Bloomington North. That is, you talk about not fouling, that kind of stuff. You also talk about, situations for fouls. And these fouls are coming at the worst possible time because they have exasperated and accelerated this lead for Bloomington North. All of these, the fact that every foul, because you're going to have a couple fouls every quarter, like I said, but the fact that every single one, all 3 of them, have led to free throws, and I believe they've been 4 of 5 or 3 of 4 on them.
3 of 4.
Yeah, they've taken advantage of it.
Steinfeld with the rebound. Kleiber just going to the basket. Tip for Steinfeld. No, gets it back and scores.
I believe that was number 10 for him.
That'll be the 4th double-double on the year for Aaron Steinfeld. Had him against Evansville North last night, 23-13, 16-10 against Martinsville, and 12-10 at Southport. Third on Blair. They're going to clean up the moisture. Bloomington North won this matchup last season in Terre Haute, 72-65. Played in the regular season since 2011. Won regional semifinal meeting in 1997 when both Maynard Lewis and Jabril Conte played. So, of course, Terre Haute South joined Conference Indiana just a couple years ago as Ready missed. As about an hour trip for these two, between these two. Brewster gets blocked by Ready, and it will be Bloomington North ball. Blair gets it to Kleiber. Brewster passed up. Steinfeld's going to take it and hits it. Wilson misses. Blair with the rebound, and now it has gone from bad to worse for Terre Haute South as Kleiber scores again. About a minute to go here in quarter number 3. Haynes drains the 3, his second of the night.
Yeah, and he can get going, but it might be too little too late at this point.
Huge lead for the Cougars as Ready deflects it out of bounds, be Bloomington North ball. Wilson goes out, Thomas back in. Brewster inside Blair, and Blair scores inside. Blair now in double figures for the 9th time this season. Haynes got fouled. Steinfeld helping him up. First on Brewster, team's third. "12 seconds to go here. Haynes against Blair, missed it. Blair with the rebound, gotta hurry. Brewster at the buzzer, off the mark. Bloomington North in control against Terre Haute South. 64-28 here on Smithville Sports.
Smithville Media has produced stunning and engaging features and documentaries for over a decade. Local interest stories, interviews, commercials and event coverage are all part of what we do. Let us showcase your business or create a commercial for your promotions. We can even play your pieces during our live sports broadcasts. For details, speak with a Smithville representative or email media@smithville.com.
As we welcome you back to Bloomington High School North, Cougars in control 64-28 over Terre Haute South. Glad you could join us for North Cougar basketball on Smithville Sports alongside Quinn Saturday. I am Nick Jenkinson. Quinn, the Cougars, big third quarter.
To put it in perspective, the Bloomington North Cougars scored 30 points in that third quarter, whereas Terre Haute South has scored 28 points in 3 total quarters. Not a recipe for success if you're the Braves, first of all. Second of all, we were talking about it, game seemed very close, even though it was an just absolute excellent job of basically just slamming the door shut on a potential comeback bid. Granted, it's never over till it's over, as Yogi Berra once said. But
Brian Apollone scores.
We'll see how it goes. See how Terre Haute South responds here. May not get the win, but you will definitely see. You could definitely see if this team can respond, and gain momentum for the next game.
Jeremiah Blair scores inside. Best performance all season by the Cougars in a single quarter with 30 points in that third. This is Turner. Ready. Thomas. He misses. Blair with the rebound. Brewster. Steinfeld. Going up one-on-one with Reddy. Gets it back to Wenzel to Kleiber. We'll reset. Wenzel, reverse layup, no. Reddy rebound. Up ahead, Apollone, and he gets fouled, will go to the line. It's on Steinfeld, his third. Deontay Wade going to check back in for Braden Turner. Brylan Apollone, 6-foot sophomore, gets that one to go. It's 5th point, all coming here in the 4th quarter. He gets the steal. Haynes, no good. Steinfeld rebound.
But I'm already loving the effort right here, because when you have a quarter where you're dominated so much, it's easy to kind of just be like, go through the motions and just like hope the game let the game be over with by now. But I want to see this team's fight. They may not win, but I want to see them compete over these next 6 minutes.
Wade left it short. Kleiber. Blair. Brewster. Good pass inside from Brewster to Blair. 70-33. As Haynes is fouled by Brewster, will go in the line. Turner back in, Wade goes out. Turner gonna fire the three off the mark, and guess who with the rebound? And then perfect pass to Wenzel, but he can't finish. Okay, so
we know that's. Well, here's the thing: Steinfeld threw a touchdown pass this season
against South, in fact.
So we know he has the capability of that.
He can do that, yes. Marco Fitch checks back in. Kleiber is going to go out. That was just perfect pass, too. Wenzel just couldn't get the bucket. Approaching 5 to go. Jaden Thomas with a 3 in and out.
Yeah, if I'm like reviewing this game, if I'm the coaching staff, I take into account that is the 4th or 5th time that they've had a shot literally go in and out of the basket. It has not been their night.
Isaac Venzel will get the foul. Now we will see number 0, Cortez Haynes, who we saw in the JV game. Apollone picks it up. 32, Amari Richardson in the game as well. These guys all played in the JV game. 5 quarters a night between JV and varsity, so they're eligible for this 4th quarter. Blair for 3, no good. And then it's Cordell Haynes with the rebound over Steinfeld. Gonna fire the 3 off the mark. Cortez with the rebound. Guys getting some experience now here late in this game at varsity level. Haynes misses again, Brewster rebounds. Brewster can't finish, will go to the line. Is on Kapil Reddy, his 2nd, team's 4th. Brewster at the line. Just 1 point tonight after a huge game last night against Evansville North. And he misses that. Zach Rager, 43, is going to check in. He had 18 points in the JV game as Bloomington North won 46-43 to go to 14-1 on the year and have a 13-game win streak.
We're getting an encore of that really good JV game.
As 71-33, Loftman's in the game as well. Apollone.
I mean, I gotta wonder what that's like as he hits the 3 right there. What it's like if you just face someone in JV and then all of a sudden in the 4th quarter of varsity, you're facing that same person again. It's kind of like that, oh, you again.
That happens a lot here in late stages of games. Zach Rager ready with the foul, his 3rd. Rager at the line, misses on the season for Rager, just his 4th appearance, 5 points at the varsity level. He gets that one. Cougars will get ready for Columbus East next Saturday. Terre Haute South will have to come back to Bloomington next Friday to take on Bloomington South. Panthers are still undefeated after their win at Castle. Could move up to number 1 next week because Lawrence North got upset at North Central Indianapolis last night.
That's gonna put the Braves in the bonus.
That's 3 on JQ Roberts. And Jaden Thomas at the line, held scoreless as he misses the first. One more for Thomas. Gets that one. 72-37. .307 to go. Marco Fitch can't get that out of bounds. It'll be Terre Haute South ball. So just approaching 3 minutes to play. Bloomington North going to sweep the weekend. They are going to go to 2-1 in Conference Indiana. They're going to improve to 13-4 overall. Terre Haute South going to go to 6-10, 0-3 in Conference Indiana, and now have a 6-game losing skid as Thomas buries a 3. He's got 4. Bloomington North will now lead this series 5-4.
As I said, I wanted to see intensity, and I'm seeing it from this Terre Haute South team. There's still a lot of progress that needs to be made, but you never want to see a team quit, and they haven't.
Haven't quit for sure, as Andres Miller is in the game wearing number 3, another kid that we saw in the JV game. J.Q. Roberts, Miller blocks him. We were down to 2, and then Thomas gets called for the travel. Approaching the 2-minute mark. Again, we thank all our crew, the hardworking women and men behind the scenes, Rob Ramsey, Nate Alarcon, Noah Barajas, Jeremy Nutter, Catherine Jankowski, for all that they do behind the scenes. Don't forget, we are on YouTube, youtube.com/Smithville Media. Search Smithville Media or subscribe to the Smithville Media channel on YouTube. Nate Toohill to the basket. His first 2 of the night. Minute and a half to go. Ready. Cortez Haynes, he gets tied up. One official says foul, the other says jump ball. They're going to go with the foul. It's on Loffman, his first. Team's 8th.
The giveaway was that Loffman was claiming for the jump ball.
Well, every player thinks that no, they commit no foul, they commit no turnover. So they're always going to go with the.
See, that's why I was never a player, because I knew I fouled.
Every player always thinks, who, me? I didn't do that. So minute to go. Cougars commanding lead. 33 points. They get ready for the final month of the regular season. Toohill. Rager. Fitch.
I think they're just going to run out the clock here.
Get it back to J.Q. Roberts. Loffman. Taken away, Cortez Haynes against Fitch. Fitch with a, well, they're going to call the foul, but Fitch had a block. It's his second, team's 9th. I'm going to send Cortez Haynes to the line. And he gets that one. 74-42. 15.5. And he gets that. 3 points here for Haynes in the final stages of this game. But it's all Bloomington North. They're going to win.
They'll need to get it past the front court.
74-43. And this will do it. Cougars victorious tonight, dominating win. As we get to look at the highlights, and a lot of them, and it's a lot of Aaron Steinfeld. Perfect pass to Isaac Venzel for the basket.
Making up for the bad pass earlier in the game.
Cordell Haynes gets the three. Nice pass from Kleiber to J.Q. Roberts. Blair Steinfeld cleans it up. Another double-double for Steinfeld. And then Apollon hits the three. Blair, nice finish, the hoop and the harm. Kleiber can't finish, but hey, who's there? Aaron Steinfeld. Kleiber working around Steinfeld, showing the range for deep. And he says, hey, look at me, as the Cougars win 74-43. For all the hardworking women and men behind the scenes, for my partner, Quinn Saturday, I am Nick Jenkinson. Thank you for watching, and good night from Bloomington North.